Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hopefully, everyone can hear me and see me. If I could get a quick sound check from someone, that would be great. Bex Bureau, can you hear me? You never know, because I don't have any way of knowing if the sound is on. Anyway, glad to see all you folks in the chat here. Appreciate all of you being here. You know, thanks, Bex Bureau. We've got a very interesting year coming up, and we're going to get started in a few minutes. As always, we got to give people plenty of time to roll in. So that's why I do 5 minutes or so. Thank you, folks. Everyone is chiming in on the loud and clear. Thank you. Um, we've got a very special year coming up. 2025 is going to be monumental. And I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not, making it sound better than it's going to be. I'm going to be very honest with you. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of surprises. There's going to be a lot of, ups and downs that are going to take place in 2025. This will be the year that you'll be telling your grandchildren, if you have grandchildren, or other people, or write about the monumental changes that have occurred in 2025. And so this is what I'm seeing, and many others are seeing the same thing, that there's no turning back after this. And I'll get into all the details, but this video is all about staying inspired as we go into 2025 because of the heavy alignments that are coming in just in the first 4 months of 2025. So, very important to not feed into the fears, not feed into the narrative, the politics. Oh my God, the politics, that's going to be through the roof this year. And by the way, I'm coming out with a video tomorrow, the new moon outlook. I'll either be late tonight or tomorrow on the new moon outlook, and I will cover what I see happening just in the next couple of weeks. And this involves politics in the United States. It involves Mr. T. It involves the energy that's coming in, starting off the new year. And so it's going to be monumental. And so, this video is since we're ending 2024, many people are like going, "Whew, I can't wait to get rid of this year." That's because this year was a year where we had to sit still and try and realize what's going on, realize who we are, and prepare us psychologically and emotionally and the whole nine yards with what's about to happen. And everyone thinks that it's politics. It's not politics. It's a vibration. It's energy that's coming in, and it is altering our consciousness. It's altering our physical bodies. And a lot of this energy is natural. These are natural cycles that are occurring with the earth. We know the earth is tilting, the magnetic fields are shifting. So, yes, we also have manipulation taking place, artificial manipulation coming from that country down south, Antarctica, and other devices that are being used around the world to manipulate energy, primarily cell phone towers, weather towers, and so on, and satellites. So these are all being used to manipulate frequency to keep the herd in place. And yes, I said herd because the psychopaths that run this planet and the AI behind it thinks that humanity is just a bunch of dumb sheep. So this is how it works. If you don't understand that, please research it for yourself. You'll come to the same conclusion. Something seems to be controlling humanity and guiding humanity in some way, controlling its resources, its funding, its religious beliefs, and so on and so forth. Okay? That's what's been going on. 2025 and the coming years ahead, primarily the next 2 or 3 years, humanity is going to break free from this programming. And it all starts in 2025. Now, is it going to be all hunky dory and peaceful and loving? Hell no. I'm sorry, folks. It's just not going to be that way. It's going to be a lot of what? Well, he did what? They did what? Oh my God, what are they trying to do? It's going to be more of that. But this time it's going to be more shocking. Okay. So I'm preparing you guys to stay neutral, to stay steady, to kind of go along and realize who you are and what's happening. All right. So we're going to start in a few seconds. We have over bunch of people in the chat here. So okay, so let me get started and talk about what I see coming and why it's important to stay inspired in the new year. For those of us that have gone down the rabbit hole, that have been researching, the meaning of life, the purpose of life, who we are, and have gone so far, we've been waiting for this moment. We've been waiting for this year when the system starts to run, the artificial intelligence, the so-called cabal, the so-called manipulators, the psychopaths that have been running. This is the year that they feared because they knew that humanity was going to awaken. And what do I mean by awaken? Meaning how they're being manipulated, realizing that they've been controlled all along for thousands of years, not just the last 100 or so, but the last couple of thousands of years. And we're going to know who these people are. And yes, many of them are people. And beyond them, they're being controlled by some sort of frequency or something higher in consciousness, possibly extraterrestrial. And by the way, that topic is not going away in 2025. As a matter of fact, it's going to get even more evident. The space drones and, all of the orbs and everything. Yes, most of them are ours. Yes, most of them are man-made. Yes, what's his name? Von Braun there, the scientist from Paperclip, basically said, yes, there's going to be, they're going to be using extraterrestrials and crafts to, scare humanity. This is how they've been controlling humanity for thousands of years. First they control your mind. And what do I mean by that? They give you belief systems that are not yours, primarily in religion. So, most of the religions in this world are watered down versions of themselves, or they're total outright manipulation of your own consciousness. Number two, they control the financial resources. Okay, they create financial systems in order to control humanity. In other words, you must use my system, you must use my paper, you must use my digital currency. Okay, this is one area that we're going to have to really pay attention to, folks, especially in 2024 and 2025 and 2026, as a new system, and a quote unquote new system is going to be emerging. But in order to be on this system, you're going to have to give up everything. In other words, your whole identity, your thumbprint, your scan, your biometrics in some way. This is something I am not for. And if you listen to Katherine Austin Fitz, she will describe it to you beautifully. Okay. Many of you know who she is. And so basically, they have been controlling us through that. So now you have the religious mindset, the monetary system, and of course, the resources. They've controlled the resources. Now, this is so evident, to many of us that could see it, but there's so many people that have no clue of what's been going on. None. And they're just waking up because I read it in the comments. I see it in my forums. People are asking simple, stupid questions, to you and I appear to be stupid, but to them, they are honestly don't know what's happening, and so they're asking questions, which is great, and I don't mind answering them because they are just waking up. So we are heading into a year where we're going to see tremendous exposure. What I mean by that is we're going to know who these people are. And some of you already know, and I've been trying to hint at it. I absolutely talk about this in my community. I cannot talk about it here because you get deplatformed or they demonetize you or, whatever else they do. So the link is down below in my in the description for my community, which I hop on every week in my community, and we discuss these matters and we go deeper into the rabbit hole. So we're going to know the names. We already know the names. People like Fauci, I'm trying not to pronounce his name, Fakey. We're seeing who these people are connected to, the criminal corporations, and who are running these corporations. And so this is all going to continue to be exposed. And one of the reasons it's happening now, not just because the increase in frequency and awareness, it's this box right in front of us. It's these cell phones that we carry around. This technology is allowing us to exchange information at a rapid rate. So even if it's misinformation, and believe me, there's tons of that too, but it's getting the information out as quickly as possible so humanity could understand what's actually happening or has an idea. Because prior to this technology, we had to rely on television, we had to rely on the news. And we now know that the news is all made up artificial propaganda being controlled by the alphabet agencies. And that's been admitted by them themselves, okay, that they've been controlled. So, my point being is we are going to see systems collapsing, primarily the banking system, the religious organizations, okay, and these families that have been controlling humanity. Many of them are going to continue to be exposed. And it's already happening. Many of you know who the Rothschilds are. Many of you know who the Rockefellers are, right? And then you got the other families that nobody really knows about. And I covered that in my private community as well. I went over the 13, 14 different families that were all tied to the Roman Vatican. And my members who are listening here know who I'm talking about. I did a whole PowerPoint presentation there to show people, who these families are. And they date back a couple of thousand years. Okay. And they're in the shadows, quietly in the shadows. Okay. They let the other ones do the dirty work. We're also going to continue to see things in the Middle East escalate because of the one country in the middle there that seems to be controlling the region and wants dominance and starts with the letter I, okay, and ends with the L. Again, I'm not going to pronounce it because many people think that that is a holy land. It's not a holy land. It's a manipulation land, okay? And if you understand the real history of what's been going on, you'll know what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with being anti-Semitic or against Jewish people. It has to do with this group of psychopaths that love to manipulate humanity. Okay. And so, I've mentioned this many times before. Jason from Archaics, love the guy. His information is just solid because he filled in a lot of the gaps that I didn't know about and many others. And he's talked about this in depth about the manipulation that came out of the sort of Sumerian Babylonian era and where it went to and how they began to manipulate cultures in these different regions. So again, we're starting to see the manipulation. And yes, they use technology, very advanced technology. That's what these drones are. Okay, very advanced technology that they're not sharing with humanity because why would they? So what this time frame is about in these next 4 months, I'm just going to focus on the next 4 months. As you know, if you haven't seen it, my 2024 video about the cycles and the trends and what to expect, please watch it. It's on my channel. Okay. And I think I called it Revolution. Yeah, Revolution. And I give you an idea of what's happening and what's going to happen just in the first 4 months of 2025. A lot of it is going to be around the political theater here in the United States. And this is a real battle. This is not, phony, made up stuff. The deep state, the embedded deep state bureaucrats are fighting for their survival. So they're like a rat being cornered. If you go at a rat being cornered, it's going to fight back. And this is what we're witnessing right now. But in that fighting back, they still have technology that they're trying to use to manipulate consciousness and humanity. And so this is what we're up against. And we're going to see this in the first 4 months of the year. The astrology indicates it. Mars opposing Pluto. This is a conflict. This is a tension that's building, Okay. And we'll feel it in our personal selves. I don't know about you guys, but the things that have been kind of bothering me is lack of sleep or sleeping habits that have changed. I mean, if I get 3 or 4 hours a night, that's amazing. And I take my magnesium, I take my vitamins, I, try to clear my head, try not to, go to bed having all this stuff on my mind. It's changing the circadian rhythm of our bodies. Okay. And that's the increase in frequency, the manipulation in frequency. And so that's the first area that we're all feeling a little edgy because lack of sleep or our sleeping pattern has been totally disrupted. Okay. Number two, our eating habits have changed. Our physical bodies have changed. I go to the gym, I work out, I eat healthy as possible, and I still feel like I'm half asleep, and it has nothing to do, with me per se. It has to do with the heavy energy that we're feeling. and it's coming from space. There is absolutely manipulation. There is a heavy vibration coming in, and we could feel it, we could see it, we could sense it. So this is part of the changes. So you have to realize all this. Don't take it personally. I can't emphasize this enough to everyone that's listening. Every time you feel something, do not go, oh, poor me. My life sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody loves me. Don't do that, because you're lowering your vibration. You're adding to the lower vibration by going there. Instead, go, wow, this energy's heavy. Wow, this is, man, I'm feeling something really heavy right now. I know it's not me, but I'm, really feeling it. Stuff like that. Always realize who you are. Every single day of my life, I say to myself, or I realize, I come to this realization that I am some sort of spirit or energy being in this physical suit. The more you do that, the more you get away from that fear, anxiety, stress, worry, about the future and all this other nonsense. Okay. You can only, the most powerful place to be is in the present moment, doing what you're supposed to be doing and enjoying it and realizing that's where all the power lies, within you, within your own consciousness. Okay. So that's the first thing I would suggest. Continue to realize who you are. Continue to realize the energies that are coming in. And yes, the astrology also is on top of that. And it's going to be very tricky as soon as we start the new year. And again, I'm going to cover that in the new moon outlook, either late tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to put it out on YouTube. Okay. I'll talk about it in my community right after this, so they'll get a little bit of a heads up before, I put it out tomorrow. And by the way, you could join my community, and there's a 7-day free trial, no obligation. Okay. So there's a link down below. And so the first 4 months, every astrologer knows this. We're all looking at going, oh boy, not only do we have the Mars opposed Pluto to start the year, then we have Mars going back into Cancer. Now, Cancer is all about emotions and feelings in the past, and it's in retrograde. Mars is in retrograde in Cancer. This brings up more emotion, more fear, more anxiety, okay? But the United States is also a Cancer nation. So all eyes are going to be on the United States the next couple of weeks because of this battle between Mars and Pluto, between the symbolism of it that's going to reveal itself. All right. So we're going to see a lot of stuff happening in the United States in the next couple of weeks, just in the next couple of weeks as the new year starts. This is why I'm putting out this video. I want you guys to stay inspired, because there's going to be change. There's going to be positive change too. I mean, one of the best things that Mr. T and the administration I am looking forward to is getting rid of some of these agencies that are just there feeding off of humanity. Okay. And you know what I'm talking about. And a lot of these agencies are, just criminal in nature. In other words, they're siphoning money from these organizations, billions of dollars. Just look at the military industrial complex. And by the way, Katherine Austin Fitz over the years has talked about it. Now, if you don't know who she is, just Google her name, Katherine Austin Fitz. She used to work for Papa Bush, and she found all this money in the HUD system being siphoned. And she reported it, and they threw her under the bus. That's her story, okay? And so let her tell you, you can listen to her talk, many interviews with her. Fantastic woman, knows what's going on, knows all about crypto, knows all about money. This is someone you want to listen to, okay? Because she's very knowledgeable, and she was in the trenches going through this change and realizing that these agencies and these organizations in Washington are all criminal in nature. And so she talks about it in depth. So please. So that's one of the things I really look forward to, seeing many of these agencies being dismantled and destroyed and literally gotten rid of. And the people that are working in these places, I'm sure they're good, decent people, will have to find other jobs or create their own. Okay, that's my suggestion for them. All right, like everybody else, you're gonna have to kind of fend for yourself and make something happen. So that's what I'm looking forward to. We will see it right away. But of course, like I said, the deep state is not going to go away. And again, this is happening worldwide, but it's being so in our face right now with the United States because of Mars going into Cancer. The United States is a Cancer nation. Okay. So this is a time that the first 4 months alone, just shock and awe, surprise. They did this, they did that. And a lot of the stuff is not going to be, really fun. It's not going to be, oh, he did, yeah, oh, this is going to be great. No, it's going to be a lot of twisting and turning and fighting back. Again, think of a rat in a corner. You're coming at it with a stick. It's going to fight back. And so this is what we're going to witness. So you have to not feed into it, friends. You have to. Every time I watch something, and believe me, I try not to watch any of this garbage anymore, but I have to because of what I do and following the trends and the cycles and trying to show you guys, what's actually happening. I have to follow it. Okay. But it's getting harder and harder to find real information. The mainstream media is a branch of the alphabet agencies. It's controlled, nonsense, garbage. It's to sugarcoat. It's to, give you just the basic minimum. So you have to realize these systems are all in trouble. And this is why, we should stay inspired, is because a lot of these systems are going to be exposed and will go away at some point. It'll be transformed. Now, I want to talk about something else that's come to mind. And this has a lot to do with the so-called white hats. Now, this is where, many of you are not going to like this. And I'm realizing, just like Catherine Austin Fitz and David Icke and many others have realized, that some of these players who call themselves white hats may not have humanity's best interest at heart. Now, what do I mean by that? Meaning that they want to set up another system, more than likely using AI and digital currency and all this other stuff, but they want to control it at the top. In other words, what we have now. And in order to control that very top, they also will somehow siphon money or siphon information or siphon something from that system. And this is becoming more and more evident. So we have to really pay attention to the so-called, they're here to help us and save us. No, they're not. They're always looking out for themselves first. Remember, these billionaires and these influential families, even the so-called white hats, are more interested in themselves and their own well-being. If you're a billionaire, you want to retain, your status. You want to retain your wealth. You're not going to just give it away. It's not they've been doing for thousands of years. So this is an area we have to really do, because the financial system is going to change in some way, big time. And they're all trying to get us to take this digital identification garbage in order to control everything you do. And again, Catherine Austin Fitz talks about it beautifully. They want to put us in she calls it a digital concentration camp. Those are her words, not mine. A digital concentration camp where everything you do is going to be recorded. Everything. You go buy a candy bar at the store, it's recorded. You go buy gas, it's recorded. You go buy an expensive vehicle or whatever it is, it's recorded. They know everything. This is the danger of AI. So as much as we are going into this new world and we have these new systems that are going to be in place, think of it as the growth pains. Think of this year, 2025, as the birthing process. Okay. I think that's the best way the analogy that I could give you here. The woman is on the bed and she is going into labor now. There's many hours of labor before the child is actually birthed. That's what 2025 is. That's what 2025 is. It's the pains, it's the uncomfortable, it's the it's going to be a little rough, it's going to be, it's going to be weird. But when this child is born, we're all happy and elated. Okay, we have a new life in this world. And now we could sort of enjoy this new life. And that's what 2025 is going to look like. 2026 looks pretty good. I'll be honest with you guys. The outer planets are making some nice favorable alignments, and all the astrologers know it. And it looks like something has come into place where it looks good. It looks great. Things are finally, looking better. And that's the time that we're going to look back and go, holy crap, Joe and so many others were right about what was going to happen here. And of course, I'll keep you posted as much as I can, as long as we have the, internet and so on. And so that's what it's going to be like. it's going to be like this anticipation, this anxiety, this stress of giving birth to something new. At the same time, something is going to be removed, something is going to be transformed absolutely in a big way. And we're going to see it. And so the months to watch are absolutely the first couple of months of, the year. Primarily, February, March, April. These months are very strong energies coming in. Not that January is any slouch, but February and March, because we have Mars still in retrograde and we have Venus that's slowing down to go retrograde as well. So we have these two personal planets in a slow retrograde phase. And retrograde just means going back or going within. But when this kind of energy slows us down even more, this is when you have to realize it. Okay. And this is why I said, I force myself to go for a walk every day, or I drag myself into the gym. And there were days that there wasn't enough coffee to boost myself to get in there and do something. And so the idea is you do something to move your physical body, because it sends the oxygen and the blood through the body faster, and it clears the mind a little bit more. Every time I go to the gym, the first thing I do is I get on the elliptical and I do 10 to 15 to get the blood and the oxygen flowing. That's my suggestion. When this energy comes in February and March and it feels so heavy and so low, move your body, move it. And don't start sitting there worrying about your life not going anywhere. Remember, we're in a massive transformation right now. Psychologically, physically, monetarily, the whole 9 yards. You just have to remember who you are. Stay in your heart center and go, I realize who I am. I realize what's going on. I'm not going to feed it. I'm going to do the best I can. Joe and many others have said it'll be a rough year. There's going to be some great moments and there's going to be some hard moments. So, you've got to stay centered. You've got to keep your vibration as high as possible. That's what raise your vibration is all about. Okay. It's not just some woo-woo term. It's about awareness. And so this is going to be an incredible year. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Every day I'm looking forward to it. I want to see some of these changes. I want to see some of this major transformation that's going to take place. But here's the little secret, friends. The one thing that these so-called psychopathic elite have feared most of all is humanity waking up and going after them. And they've said this themselves. That's their biggest fear. Excuse me. Humanity was going to wake up and come after them. And so what's happening? Dr. Fakey, okay, the guy with the, in the arm, he's worried for his life right now. I remember him in an interview saying that, he's worried about his life because people are sending him messages. They know where he lives and so on and so forth. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go after him that way, but that's the kind of thing that they worry about the most, is that humanity was waking up and all of a sudden, the old saying, peasants with the pitchforks, going after the so-called leaders. And that's their biggest concern. And so it's happening. And so, the more we wake up from the programming, the absolute programming, they can't control us anymore. The AI cannot control us anymore. It's going to try. I mean, it's manipulating the internet big time. You can't do searches anymore and find just basic information that you could 10 years ago. So they're sanitizing the internet. So very important to download the things, videos, information that's very relevant, and hold on to it, and then maybe share it somewhere else or share it on another platform. Very important to do that right now. Okay. So basically, we're going to see tremendous changes coming in this coming year. And like I said, the three primary areas are going to be the leadership. And by the way, these people that we see right now in the news and politics, they're not the real leaders. They are the ones that are in the front. They're the front men and women. Okay, but there are people behind them, and then there are people behind them that hide behind all of this. and pull the strings. And a lot of them are in these corporations, in these agencies, in the military industrial complex, and the religious organizations. They all go back to the religious organizations. Okay. So if you don't understand that, again, watch Jason from Bashir's from Archaics and watch. I must have watched at least 100 hours of his videos. I've got 5 of his books. I've read, most of them. And so the information is on point. So my point being here is this is about awakening. And you have to realize how powerful you really are. That you literally create your own reality by what you focus on subconsciously and go in that direction. The biggest thing that the so-called elite and this AI that's controlling humanity does not like is when you do your own thing and you go, not feeding into the fears. Screw you. I'm not doing this the way you want me to. Nope. Sorry. Ain't going to happen. And so you start making your own path. You start creating your own reality. And that's the biggest thing that is concerning to them right now, because more and more people are going, no, we don't want any part of this. No, we're not going to believe your lies. No, we're not going to take your manipulation. No, we're not going to take your digital ID. You get it? So everything in the future is not written in stone, friends, especially now with the increased frequency and energy that's going to go up through the roof after July. After July, it's basically a free-for-all, according to what I see. Uranus goes into Gemini. Jupiter is going to be in Cancer. Again, the United States is going to be a primary focus because of what's going to take place. And the energy goes up, goes way up. So we're going to be feeling all jittery. And one of the things I unfortunately see is a lot of people losing their marbles. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, from time to time, I like to watch some of those YouTube videos with the cops with their body cams, arresting people and so on and interacting with them. And you go, oh my goodness. Some of these people are just, you feel sorry for some of them. They're so intoxicated. They're all drugged up. And these are attorneys. These are just average moms. One had a child in the back, a little baby in the back. She's driving drunk. I mean, this is what I mean by people losing their sense of reality or losing their marbles, because they can't cope with reality anymore. They have this one set of beliefs here while reality is slapping them in the head, over here. And that is unfortunately what's going to happen when Uranus goes into Gemini. We're going to have so many more people losing their sense of reality. And so for those of us that could help, and I do this and I see it all the time. And if I could help somebody in person when I'm at a store or, this restores the faith in that individual. It helps them understand that not everyone's out to get them. Not everyone, is there to manipulate. Not everyone is there to, take advantage of them. And so it's the little things, friends. It's the little things. It's one of the things I realized. You do the little things, and it comes back to you, because basically everything is energy. Everything. Your soul is interacting with a force, a field. Okay, call it the quantum field, call it source, call it whatever you want to call it. Okay, we are interacting with this on a regular basis. Our vibration, its vibration, it's one and the same. So when you basically do something, that benefits another, you're giving your energy, you're exchanging energy with that being or that person or that animal, whatever it is, and it's circling around and then it comes back. It's just how it works. This is what I've been trying to get to, people to understand about money. Money is nothing but an exchange of energy, of value. That's all money is. It represents the energy exchange. Okay, it's a number. It's a symbolic way of exchanging value with someone. Unfortunately, that system has been corrupted and is controlled. So, there's money being siphoned from the system when we interact with it. But it's an exchange of value. And the more you give of yourself in some way, the more something else will come back in return. It doesn't always come in the same way. You give, let's say you donate to someone. it's not going to come from that same organization, but it will come in a different way. Maybe you'll pick up a new client. Maybe you'll find money. Maybe someone will give you something. It's just how it works. The same holds true with the negative energy. The more anger and fear you have projecting out towards somebody else, the more you get back. It's just the way it works. This universe is some sort of hologram. That's what it comes down to. But you have the power to control your own energy, your own perception, your own reality, your own things. Believe me, it works. Okay? I've been there. I know what it's like to have nothing, zero, zippo. Okay? And then start to slowly over the years realize my self-worth and realize who I am and realize how this universe works. And all of a sudden I began to pull in things that I needed, that people that I needed, or situations that I needed, resources that I needed. And that's how it works. But it all starts within you. You have to come to this place of just understanding who you are. It's not about somebody saving us. That's the mistake that most people make. They think that some messiah, some politician, somebody else is going to save them. No, you save yourself. You came into this world by yourself. You will leave by yourself. And so the self is the most important thing, this realization of self, this spirit, this energy in this suit, having this experience. Okay? So no matter what happens in this coming year, don't take it personally. Adjust accordingly. Don't over worry, don't overthink, trying to plan, strategize everything. That's the worst thing you could do, because what happens is now you're confusing yourself even more. And I try and do that. I literally, sometimes I just have to not tune into any of this stuff, because that's when I get all the information. I literally will get information. And this is honest truth. I've gotten more information from the gym, or walking out of the gym, or going into the gym than any time ever before. It was getting so ridiculous that at one point I had to carry a little notepad with me and a pen to the gym, because the information was just pouring out of my consciousness. Okay. I would just be doing my thing, listening to music with the headset and exercising. All of a sudden I get this flash of, this is going to happen in the near future. Sometimes it would give me a timeline. Sometimes it would show me what I needed to focus on. Right away, start jotting it down. And then when it happened, I go, holy crap. Wow. This really happened. I remember being on the treadmill and getting this information. So is it always 100%? No. Okay. Again, the percentage of being in tune is about 75 to 80%. I don't care how psychic you are, how good of a remote viewer you are, or whatever. The percentages are about 75 to 80%. And that's all we could, strive for, because, you have to leave room for the possibilities. That's how the universe works. Everything's a possibility. This quantum field is all possibilities until you begin to create, an intention, a desire, an outcome, a vision. That's how it works. Okay. So what's happening right now is humanity is starting to awaken and create this vision. No more control. Stop, trying to control us. Stop trying to, and that's the vision that's coming. And it's up to, believe it or not, it's not you and I. Most of the people listening to this, get it and understand it. It's that 70% of the population that is totally clueless. That's the one we need to help, understand. But the problem is that 70% has the hands over the ears, the hands over the eyes, the mouth. They don't want to know nothing. They don't want to hear anything, because they're very simplistic in nature. Nothing wrong with that, and they're just going to follow along. And when they do that, unfortunately, they sway the outcome. They sway the possibilities of something that's going to benefit humanity in some way. This is why they love to, the manipulators and the AI love to manipulate consciousness in a very simple way. And one of the best ways they do that is, I'll give you an example, and I'm not knocking this, but sports. Send people to an arena, and by the way, this has been going on for thousands of years. You got the Romans doing it in the Colosseums. Send people to sporting events. get them drunk, get them all excited about something outside of their ordinary existence. You see what I'm saying? The other one is religion. Get people to go to an institution, a place of worship, and give their power away to an organization. And they do it on a regular basis, just like sports and religions. Okay. Notice what they do. It's the same. And that's what I'm talking about. That 70% of the population on this planet needs those, because they don't have the capacity to see beyond or to see the bigger picture. So they have this simplistic view. Oh, I'm going to be a part of this group and this organization because they understand me. They're not going to judge me. We're all in the same mindset. You see what I'm saying, friends? That their little world is going to come crumbling down in a few years. And they're going to start going, oh my God, what's happening? And that's where it really, that's when we're really going to see more changes. But for you and I, those of you listening to me that get it, are going to be fine. We're going to adjust. We're going to adapt. We're going to surround ourselves with people that are on the same wavelength. And we're not going to feed into the fears. We're the ones that are going to hold the frequency in place. So when I say stay inspired, stay inspired. Do the best you can. Listen to motivational stuff. One of the things I love doing is watching animal videos. I love watching these kids that are like 4 or 5 years old with this amazing talent, either to sing or play an instrument. That's natural ability, you see, or ocean, rivers, anything natural. These are inspirational. This gets you back to that center point. You follow? So yes, these next few months, we're going to be going, holy crap, what the hell are they doing? Yes, there may be some issues coming in with Mr. T. Again, I will cover that in the New Moon Outlook video. And for my members, right after this video, I will touch upon that a little bit about what's coming in the next couple of weeks. And it does involve Mr. T and possibly him not being inaugurated. There might not be an inauguration or a certification. How's that? That is a very good possibility, friends. So I'm just giving you a little touch of it, a little glimpse of it, of what's to come in the next couple of weeks. Don't get upset. Just keep following the story and realizing what's happening. This is part of these changes that I'm seeing here. Again, like I said, the rat is being cornered and it's going to fight back. And so we're going to see this. Stay optimistic. Do the best you can. That's all I could. That's the best advice I could give you. Do the best you can as we go through these transformational times. I'm doing the same thing, friends. Okay, I've been steady in one place here, and I'll probably be here for a couple of months because I know what's about to happen. And so it's a time where I'm not going to venture off too far away, because, and this is just me personally. Okay. But it doesn't mean, you don't do things. Just pay attention to your intuition and listen. Nature's a very powerful indicator. So if you start feeling and sensing something about energy, you need to pay attention. I'll give you an example. I had a friend of mine that was going up to Oregon. And right away, when she said that, I got a sense. I said, be careful, because the weather is going to start getting very strange up there. And sure enough, there was this couple of months ago, there was this strange tornado and weather hitting Oregon and northern California. And so I think I was picking up on that, And also when she got to the airport, there was major delays that were going on. So she was at the airport for hours because of weather-related delays. So what I'm saying is this is the kind of stuff that we have to adjust to. We have to pay more attention to. It's not just, hey, let's go. Yeah, fun. Just your consciousness will tune into stuff and we'll get a sense of what's happening and what's going to happen. Okay, that's how it works. It's just that you cannot overthink things. That's the worst place to be. All right. Anyway, I'm going to wind this down because I want to give people enough time to, if they want to join today, there's a link down below in the box. And it's a free 7-day trial. So you could, go around, see what's in there. And I'll be on that call in 15 minutes in the Zoom call. with the members, and we'll be talking about more of this. And I'll be going to people's charts. I have another remote viewing target for the members. So, I think I do think they appreciate that. Of course, I have the weekly astrology video that comes out today and tomorrow, giving people a heads up. So you can see the benefits of this community is basically, I could give more information, and so, if you consider joining, again, remember, there's a link down below, and I think you might enjoy it. And so, anyway, do the best you can, friends. We're in amazing times for transformation, and we're going to see many changes coming that some are going to be very surprising. And this is on every level of consciousness. And so, be the light in your own community and in your own families, because that's the best way to do it. All right. Anyway, have a great new year for many of you. I'm looking forward to, this new year coming in, and it's going to be one hell of a ride. That's all I could say. All right. And you'll see what I'm talking about as I keep you posted. Have a great new year, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.